Oh, come on! Gosh. What? You! What are you even doing here? I thought we took care of this last year with the whole Batman Noel thing.
Season's greetings. It's a little embarrassing. I'm actually up for a performance review, and my career coach recommends that I could use a few more positive reactions.
Performance review? What even is your job?
You were really helpful to me last year, so I was hoping you could help me out again.
I mean, I'm not really in the mood, but I guess I can.
Perfect.
So what is this? You want me to do like another Christmas thing, or what?
No, actually, I'm trying to expand my horizons.
So Hanukkah?
No.
Kwanzaa?
No.
Boxing Day?
Why don't you go check the microwave?
The microwave? Huh. Okay. I can talk about this. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Comic Crash, my little show on the internet where we talk about comic books and stuff. One of the reasons that people really latch onto and really love Star Wars has to do with the world building. Literally every tiny detail that you see on screen, or you see in a book, or you see in a comic book, or you see anywhere associated with Star Wars has a very, very, very rich and deep lore and history to it. Every character you see has been somewhere and is going someplace. Every single item has a history behind it. And not only do we know that it has a history, we know in most cases what that history is to a very significant detail. At this point, we know more about the Star Wars universe than we do a lot about some of our own actual real-world ancient cultures. But it didn't always used to be this way. After the movie was released in 1977, the first Star Wars movie, Fox Studios and George Lucas were a little concerned that Star Wars and its popularity was just going to start to fizzle out before they could get the next movie, The Empire Strikes Back, finished and in theaters. And before home media was really a thing, you only had a couple of options as to how to get your movie back in public eye. First is to release it back in theaters. The second is to put it on TV, which was also kind of seen as like a death knell to any movie that got put out there. It meant that your movie was done and it was kind of over. But the third option was to do a TV special. And that's what they did. Now, the Star Wars Holiday Special, released in 1978, it's not good. It's not good from a fictional standpoint. It's not good from a realistic standpoint. And the Star Wars universe, it sucks. And in our universe, it sucks. The main story of it is that Chewbacca needs to get back to his home planet to celebrate a holiday called Life Day with his family, his wife and his kids, and he has a wife and kid. He has a wife and kid, just kind of like disappeared on them and started fighting with the rebels, doesn't ever contact them. Huh. And you know what the other thing is? That's like still canon. Like he still has family. They just don't ever talk about it in the movies. Seems like an important thing to just dismiss. But they're trying to get to Chewbacca's home planet so they can celebrate Life Day. And the whole thing is just awful, but Life Day, for some reason, was the one element of the holiday special that was able to surpass its dreadful, terrible, mucky origins and become something that was actually beloved, that people like, and people like unironically.
I was hoping to be free for Life Day, get home to the family, but I guess that's not going to happen this year.
Probably not.
Now, out of universe, Life Day is really just a stand-in for whatever holiday there, and it's kind of this amalgamation of Thanksgiving and Christmas. In universe, the way that Life Day was celebrated was really fascinating. The Wookiees started celebrating Life Day. No kidding, we know this. This has been written down and acknowledged and accepted 1.5 million years before the movies happened. Life Day is celebrated by the Wookiees, who would make a pilgrimage to the sacred life tree. It's like this central tree that they believe all life originated from. They would go there and they would sing and they would bang drums and get together with family and friends, and it was a whole thing. And then since then it just kind of grew to become like a more complex, more ritualistic kind of holiday for the Wookiees, but not just the Wookiees, it expanded across the universe. Everyone in the Star Wars universe started celebrating Life Day to some extent. The way that it became celebrated by the time we first saw it in the Life Day special, and the way that we see it celebrated in comic books such as the Star Wars Life Day issue that was released last year, that all starts with a feast. You have a feast with your family, and then you all gather around something called a Life Day orb. Now this is like a glass orb that is blue and shines, and when you look closely in it, it has a bunch of stars and constellations in it. This is basically a Wookiee nativity scene. This is meant to represent a lot of the Wookiees' religious ideology. We have the Wookiees' religious ideology. We know what it is. Star Wars is amazing. It's amazing that we have this, and everyone would make one for Life Day. They would put it up on trees, they would give them as presents, they would set them on tables. The Wookiees would get them and they would set them on tables, and they would have a prayer ceremony together before they ate dinner. Very, very much like Thanksgiving. Now, here's the thing that's really fascinating about this is that the reason why the Wookiees and the Star Wars galaxy really celebrated Life Day, a day of life, a day of peace, a day of tranquility, like, people latched onto this, and people thought that this was a really, really cool thing, especially the people who ran Star Wars. Star Wars would have huge events either on online games or across social media, where they would, near the end of the year, celebrate and wish everyone a happy Life Day. And beyond that, people unironically celebrate Life Day. Technically speaking, Life Day takes place on November 17th. It is the day that the Star Wars Holiday Special initially aired, and a lot of people will celebrate this unironically. They'll get together with family and friends, they'll have a meal, and they'll make these Life Day orbs, which StarWars.com and other places have tons and tons of craft instructions and recipes on how to make. And so yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about this because it was just so fascinating to me that this fictional universe came up with a fictional holiday specifically because they didn't want to tie themselves down to any kind of real holiday. And it unironically became a real holiday despite all kinds of odds going up against it. That's a very fascinating thing to me. Like, you just have a day where you celebrate Star Wars, you celebrate family, you celebrate friends, you celebrate good food, you make fun crafts that are all sci-fi and like science fantasy based, and it's really, really cool stuff. So how was that? Was that good enough for your performance review?
Definitely on the right track. I think that what we've learned today is that it doesn't matter what you celebrate as much as the reason why you're celebrating.
I mean, I kind of dig it, and I mean, you know, sometimes I'll just take any reason to start celebrating something fun and exciting, and oh no. It's my boss. I gotta go.
You're going? Are you serious? We just started. What happened to that Life Day spirit?
Look, I mean, I don't want to just go. I don't. But I don't have a choice in the matter. I can't lose this. I gotta go.
This is going to be tougher than I thought.